Hi, I'm Alan Morrison, owner of AM Guitar Repair in Davenport, Iowa. And today I'm going to show you how I polish frets here at the shop and also tell you how you can get the same results at home using my fret polishing kit, which includes all the materials that I use here. And we're going to start. I've got a classical guitar here that I'm restoring. I've got the tuners off. It's got some cracks that need fixed, but you can also see that the frets are pretty corroded and need some attention. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mask off the fretboard. And I use drafting tape. I've got a couple different sizes here, 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch masking tape. And again, it's drafting tape. It's a low tack, so it's not too sticky. And then once I get these on and I need more smaller widths of tape, I've got some on a cutting board that I'll use too. I'm just going to start by masking off each fret. Just do one side all the way down the fingerboard, and then I'll come back and fill in what's not covered by the first piece of tape. You'll notice that I don't wrap the tape around the neck of the guitar. I want to keep the adhesive off of the finish of the guitar, and that's especially important on vintage guitars where the finish is a little more delicate. And you can see that the frets get closer together the further up the neck you go. So now I'm going to switch to the 1/2 inch tape. Once I get over the body of the guitar, I'm going to take some of the 3/4 inch tape, a couple strips like this, and that will keep the adhesive off the body of the guitar. I've got the adhesive side face up on these two strips. And I'm getting down to where the 1/2 inch tape is too wide. So now I'm going to use, I've got a cutting board here where I've taken my two different sizes of tapes and I've cut them down to different widths so that I can kind of fill in the gaps here with that. And I just put these on a cutting board and used a straight edge and an X-Acto knife to cut my different widths of tape. Alright, now that the fretboard's all masked off, I'm going to go one step further to protect the guitar. These are just pieces of cardboard. It's a cut-up file folder, and I'm going to put that over this area of the body of the guitar just to keep things from getting scratched. Then I'm going to use a sanding stick, and this sanding stick has a notch that I file in it to ride the frets so it doesn't slip off the frets. And I'm going to start with a 320 grit on this 320 grit sanding belt, and it's going to take off a lot of the corrosion that's on the frets. Our fret polishing kit comes with several grits of sanding belts and sandpaper, and you may not have to start at the coarsest one. You may be able to start somewhere in the middle, but for this guitar it needs the full treatment. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Just place the sanding stick on the fret and sand it a little bit, and then sand the sides. And then I'll rotate the belt a little bit. Do the next one. Okay, I've finished with the 320 grit, and now I'm going to switch to a 600 grit belt. And this is what the belt looks like. It's just a little belt of sandpaper, and you put it on the sanding stick. The sanding stick is spring-loaded, so you just compress it and put the belt on, and then it pops back out and you've got the new belt on. The reason I'm going to switch to a 600, I started out with a 320, and there's some fine scratches in the frets now from the 320 sandpaper, and so I'm going to sand out the 320 scratches with the 600. Okay, and then that's it with the 600 grit paper. What we're going to do next is take some 800 grit sandpaper, and this time we're not going to use a sanding stick. I'm just going to use the sheet like this, and I'm going to kind of put it like this on the fretboard, and I'm just going to go across the frets this time and take out the 600 grit scratches with the 800. Go over that a few times, and next I'm going to switch to 1000 grit sandpaper. Fix my tape in a couple places here, and do the same thing with the 1000 grit. Okay, now we're ready for the final step. This is the key ingredient to my fret polishing kit, and this is a fine polishing compound. I'm going to put on each fret. Just a little dab is all you need, and there's plenty of compound in here to do several fretboards. And I'm just using a white t-shirt rag to apply it to the fret. A lot of people have said steel wool is what you use to polish frets, but I don't like the idea of steel wool on my guitar, especially an electric guitar. It will get in your pickups because your pickups are magnetic, and the steel wool will be attracted to your pickups. So this polishing compound works great, and I'm going to show you two different ways that you can use this. One is you can just use it by hand. You can polish it, and I just start in the center of the fret, go back and forth several times, and then find a clean place on the rag. Your rag will start to turn black because of the reaction between the polish and the frets, and then I'm going to polish it just by hand with a clean part of the rag. Wipe off the excess, and you can see that we're starting to get a mirror shine on the frets. And then, so that's one way you could do it. Now I'm going to show you the way that I do it here in the shop, where time is money. And I'm going to use my Dremel tool, and this is a felt buffing wheel on it. So I will get that plugged in, and we'll get these shined up real quick. Alright, so I've got my Dremel tool fired up and ready to go, plugged in and ready to go. And now I'm going to just turn it on, and I'm going to go across the frets like this. And this gets kind of messy. The buffing compound will tend to kind of fly around a little bit, but that's okay. If I was doing an electric guitar, I would use the extension for my Dremel tool so that I wouldn't be waving a motor's magnetic field over the pickups. But for an acoustic guitar, this works just fine. Now, as I come up to the body, I'm going to kind of hold my hand here so that if I slip, it doesn't go off and scratch the body. And now, the next step is I still have to clean the compound off of the frets, and I do that by hand, again with my t-shirt rag. Alright, let's see how we did. We'll pull the masking tape off. They're looking very nice. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean up the edges a little bit where the buffing compound got in there behind the tape. And then the other thing that I need to do, you can see the fretboard looks kind of dry, and so it's going to get treated here. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do with the guitar is I've polished the frets and they're looking nice and shiny. I just need to do something now with the fingerboard, and I use a Kaiser Dr. Stringfellow lemon oil, and that will soak up into the wood nice and help preserve the wood as well and keep it from cracking and drying out. So let's do that now. Okay, I've got the lemon oil on a quarter sheet of paper towel here, and I'm just going to wipe down the fingerboard with it. And you pretty much just wipe it on and then take a dry paper towel and wipe it off right away. I don't let it soak in too long. And then I'll go between each fret and scrub it down really good. Wipe the oil off the frets. And we are good to go with the fingerboard and fretboard. That about wraps it up for today. If you would like to have the same results on your guitar, the fret polishing kit is available on our eBay store, AM Guitar Repair, or at our online store, guitarupgradesonline.com, or here in our shop, AM Guitar Repair in Davenport, Iowa. And if you would care to, you can sign up to like AM Guitar Repair on Facebook to see more tips and photos of the things that go on here and the things that we have available for guitar care and customizing and repairing.